Good evening, everyone. We're so excited to welcome you to this in depth webinar on zero click content strategy, winning without traffic. I'm Anurima from Go Digital 360 Degree, and alongside me is Mehak. Today's session isn't just about what's trending in digital marketing, it's about a proven approach that is helping brands become household names without constantly begging people to click links or visit websites. This is a method we've used ourselves, and we're here to guide you through every detail. Now, before we dive in, ask yourself this: how often do you actually leave Instagram or LinkedIn to check out a brand's website? Not as often as you used to, right? People today want the full experience right where they are. They want to learn, engage, and decide, all without leaving the app. That's the magic of zero click content, and we're going to unpack how it works. We'll take you step by step through the why, what, and how. We'll be sharing real life examples from major brands like Nika and Daniel Wellington, showing exactly how they grew massive visibility through simple platform first strategies. Plus, we'll show you what we've done at Go Digital 360 Degree to make this work for us and our clients. So, whether you're running a brand, managing an account, or just curious about how content marketing is evolving, stick with us. By the end of this session, you'll know how to create a content so good, so valuable that your audience never needs to leave the platform and they love you for it.
Thank you, Anurima. And to everyone joining us, you're in for a real treat today. This webinar is different because we're not just here to share theory or trends. We're giving you real, practical strategies you can apply immediately. This is about making content work for you in a way that saves you time, effort, and honestly, frustration over chasing website clicks that may not even convert. We'll also be busting some common myths. For example, there's this belief that if people aren't clicking to your site, they're not really interested. But the truth is, the brands that are winning today are winning because they're giving value right where the audience really is. They are not forcing them to leave or take extra steps. They're saying, hey, here's everything you need right now. And this is a strategy that works across every industry, whether you're in beauty, fashion, travel, education, or services. We've used these techniques at Go Digital TCT degree, and today we are sharing our insights so you can apply them in your own space. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or running an established brand. Zero click content is the key to unlocking real engagement. So let's get comfortable, get ready to take notes, and most importantly, get inspired. Because by the end of these 2 hours, you're going to see content in a whole new light. Let's officially welcome you to the era of zero click content. We've noticed how our attention spans have gotten shorter. We are busier, we want information faster. We don't have the time or the patience to jump from one platform to another to get what we need. And honestly, why should we? If the content is good enough, we expect to get everything right where we are. This is the environment brands are working in today. The ones who understand the shift are winning. They're creating high value content that doesn't ask for anything extra from the audience. No clicking, no browsing, just value. Immediately, and the result, their audience sticks around longer, engages more, and remember them better. At Go Digital 360 Degree, we have seen this firsthand. When we started prioritizing value first on platform content, the difference was clear. We saw our engagement rise. People saved our posts, they shared our tips, they commented on our carousels, and the best part, they started coming back for more without us needing to constantly drive them somewhere else. And this is why we are here today to help you unlock the same power because when you embrace zero click content, you are not just following a trend, you are responding to what people actually want. And in doing so, you create relationships that are far more meaningful and lasting than a single website visit ever could be.
Exactly. And to add to that, let's think about why this shift is happening in the first place. People aren't just consuming content, they're making decisions. while they scroll. Think about how often you've brought something based on a reel and saved a post for future references. That's the reality now. People don't need to leave the platform to get inspired or to buy. They can do it all right there. And because of that, brands need to shift from thinking about content as a gateway to the website and instead start thinking of it as the whole experience. Your content is the product, your content is the service, your content is the story. If you do it right, you're creating something that delivers total value right onto the feed. And that's exactly what zero click content is all about. What's exciting is that this method is accessible to everyone. You don't need a massive team or a huge budget to do this. You just need to be thoughtful, intentional, and creative about how you show up for your audience. And today, we're going to show you how to do exactly that. So let's dive into what zero click content really is, why it works, and how you can start applying it to your own brand starting today. What is zero content? So now let's talk about the heart of today's session. What exactly is zero click content? To put this simply, it's content that delivers full value right on the platform itself. No links, no redirection, no visit our site. Imagine giving your audience everything they need in one single post. No extra steps, no extra clicks, just pure, simple value. You're solving their problem of answering their question instantly, and that's what makes it so powerful. The moment they see your content, they're satisfied, and that satisfaction turns into trust. Take a moment and think about your own behavior online. How often do you click off Instagram to read a blog? Rarely, right? Most people don't want to leave the app they're on, and zero click content works perfectly with that behavior. It's designed to remove all friction. Instead of teasing information and sending people elsewhere, you serve them the full story on the spot. And that's why it works so well. You're respecting their time and keeping their attention. But here's something interesting to notice. Zero click content doesn't just mean copying and pasting text into a caption. It's about carefully crafting content that teaches, entertains, and inspires without making people do any extra work. It can be a carousel explaining a strategy, a LinkedIn post with the full breakdown of an idea, or a reel showing a complete process from start to finish. The goal is always the same: deliver everything right here, right now. And this doesn't just apply to educational content, it works for storytelling, behind the scene insights, and even product showcases. Think about an Instagram post showing the entire how it's made journey of your product. People love these complete experiences and they keep coming back for more. And you're offering such value packed content, you don't need to chase clicks. You become the source they rely on.
Exactly. And that's what even better is that this approach helps build a deeper, more meaningful connection with your audience. When your followers know that every time they see your content, they are going to learn something or feel inspired without having to do any extra work, they'll start paying more attention. They'll engage. They'll save your post. And the next time they're looking for someone in your field, you will be top of mind because you've already delivered value so many times before. Plus, zero click content is incredibly flexible. It works across every platform. On Instagram, it might be a multi site carousel. On LinkedIn, it might be thought leadership post. On Twitter, it could be a thread that fully explains a concept. On YouTube, maybe it's a short tutorial or a quick tip video. The format changes, but the purpose remains the same. Give people all the value right there, right where they are. And another thing we often hear is, but won't this hurt my website traffic? And the honest answer is yes, maybe a little, but that's okay. Why? Because attention and trust are more valuable than raw traffic. When you build loyalty through zero click content, the conversions will follow naturally. People who trust you are more likely to buy from you, refer you, and engage with your future content. You're playing the long game and it works. This strategy works especially well for smaller brands who may not have a flashy website or tons of resources. If you're running your entire business off Instagram or LinkedIn, zero click content lets you create a complete experience within your feed. It turns your social media profile into your storefront, your portfolio, and your educational hub all at once. And lastly, remember, zero click content is not just another marketing hack, it's a complete mindset shift. You are no longer trying to move people away from where they are comfortable. You're showing up for them right where they are, providing real value and allowing that connection to grow over time. And that's why the brands are using this approach are the ones seeing lasting success.
Why is zero click content such a game changer? First and foremost, it aligns perfectly with how social media platforms operate today. Platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube want users to stay on their apps as long as possible. If your content keeps people engaged on platform, the algorithm rewards you by showing your posts to more people. This gives you more organic reach without needing to pay for ads or boost posts. Second, people simply don't like switching apps anymore. Once someone is deep into their Instagram scroll or LinkedIn feed, asking them to pause and visit a website feels like an interruption. The extra step feels like work. Zero click content eliminates that barrier by delivering everything they need right there in the post itself, making it a seamless experience. Another major advantage is that it builds trust and authority much faster. When you consistently, show up and give value through posts without pushing for clicks, you become the expert people look forward to hearing from you. You're not just selling products or services, you're providing knowledge and solutions, which makes you the go to brand in your niche. Finally, zero click content is perfect for businesses without big websites, apps, or fancy e commerce stores. Maybe you're a solo entrepreneur or a small brand just starting out. You don't have to wait for a full fledged website to to build visibly. Your Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter feed can become your entire digital presence as long as your content is rich and complete.
And what makes this even more exciting is that zero click content shifts the focus from vanity metrics to real engagement. Instead of obsessing over website traffic, bounce rates, or click through rates, commonly called CTR, you're watching for saves, shares, comments, and conversations happening right where your audience is most active. These are deeper metrics that reflect genuine interest and connection. We've also seen how zero click content helps with brand recall. Think about it. When someone keeps coming across your helpful educational post on their feed day after day, you naturally stay top of mind. Even if they don't buy from you immediately, they remember you when they are ready. This long term leadership is what builds lasting business success. It's also important to note that zero click content makes your audience feel seen and heard instead of making them jump through hoops to get information. You're respecting their time by giving them instant value. That respect translates into loyalty. People remember the brands that make their lives easier. So, as you listen to the rest of this webinar, think about your audience. What do they need? How can you meet that need without asking for anything in return? That's the foundation of great zero click content and why it's become one of the most powerful marketing tools today.
Now that we understand what zero click content is, let's dive into why it's such a powerful growth tool for brands today. Growth doesn't always mean pushing people to your website or getting massive ad clicks. I'm sorry, just give me a second. There's some issue. Okay. Uh, Today, growth means being remembered, shared, saved, and trusted as well. And zero click content does exactly that. One of the biggest drivers of growth through this method is saves. When people save your post, it's because, they found it valuable enough to come back to later. Saves tells the algorithm this content matters, and the algorithm responds by showing your post to even more people, multiplying your reach organically without any extra spend. Another huge growth factor comes from shares. When your content is so helpful, inspiring, or entertaining that people want to send it to their friends, colleagues, and even their own followers, you've unlocked viral potential. Think about it. Each share introduces your brand to a whole new audience. You didn't have to pay for that exposure. You didn't have to beg for clicks. You just created something so good that people couldn't help but pass it along. That's how zero click content quietly expands your audience every single day. And it's also important to talk about authority. When your audience sees you consistently, posting complete, valuable insights right into their feed, they begin to view you as a go to expert. Over time, this builds trust, and trust leads to growth. Why? Because people buy from brands they trust, they share content from people they respect, and they engage with businesses that make their lives easier. Zero click content positions you as that trusted voice, and it's one of the most sustainable ways to grow without constantly fighting for attention. Finally, one of the hidden growth superpowers of zero click content is that it reduces friction. The fewer steps someone has to take to get value, the more likely they are to engage. If someone has to leave the app, wait for a website to load, through ads, and then find the information they want, you've already lost most of them. But if you give them exactly what they need right there instantly, you keep their attention and make them want to stick around. This increased time spent on your content tells the platform to push it even further, creating a beautiful cycle of growth.
And this is where zero click content becomes so exciting. Because beyond just growing numbers, it grows relationships. You're not just getting random clicks, you're building a loyal community that values what you share. Imagine someone coming across your carousel on Instagram, learning something practical, saving it and following you. Then they see your next post and comment on it. Then they share your reel. Before you know it, you're not just another brand in their feed, you're part of their daily scroll. And that's the kind of growth that matters the most. Another way zero click content drives growth is by fueling conversations. When you create posts that are complete and thoughtful, people respond. They comment with their opinions, questions and experiences. This naturally starts discussing on your post, boosting your visibility and allowing you to connect with your audience on a deeper level. The more conversations you spark, the more your spreads organically, and the more people want to see what you'll share next. A lot of people ask us if zero click content can work long term or it's just a short term boost. The truth is, it's one of the most sustainable growth methods out there. Why? Because you're building an entire library of helpful content that people will keep coming back to. Your posts become resources that get shared again and again, weeks or even months later. And the more value you add, the more your audience grows over time. This isn't a one hit wonder strategy, it's something that compounds as you stay consistent. One more thing to remember is that zero click content also grows your brand equity. When people see your content consistently delivering value, they start associating your name with expertise. You're no longer just another page they follow. You became an authority in your space, and that positions you for opportunities beyond just social media. Collaborations, partnerships, PR features, all of that becomes easier when a brand is known for showing up with real value. And lastly, growth doesn't always mean numbers. With zero click content, it also means impact. How many people did you help today? How many minds did you inspire? How many problems did you solve? These are the kinds of growth metrics that truly matter. And when you focus on giving value first, the number naturally follow. Growth becomes a byproduct of serving your audience, and that's what makes the strategy so unique and powerful.
Now that we've explored how zero click content drives growth, let's talk about the types of content that makes this strategy work so well. The best part about zero click content is its versatility. You can create so many different formats depending on your audience and platform. One of the most popular types is the Instagram carousel. Carousels are the best and perfect because they let you break down complex ideas into bite sized slides. You can guide people step by step through a topic, a process, or a story, all within a single post. And the best part, your audience gets the full value right there. No extra reading, no external link clicks. It's like giving them a mini masterclass one swipe at a time. Another powerful format is the LinkedIn deep dive post. These are long form, insightful posts that give full lessons, tips, or breakdowns of strategies. Think about the last time you stopped mid scroll because someone shared a detailed experience or gave industry advice in one complete post. That's zero click content in action. With LinkedIn posts, you can tell stories, share behind the scenes lessons, and give actionable insights that professionals can apply right away, all without making them leave LinkedIn to read a blog or download an ebook. One of our favorite, it's like especially for people who like quick visual learning, is YouTube Shorts. These are short videos, usually under 60 seconds, that teach one clear tip or explain a single idea. They're snackable, educational, and incredibly easy to consume. The best shorts don't say watch the full video on a channel. Instead, they give the complete tip right there. Imagine showing up quick SEO hack, a marketing formula, or a design trick, all in under a minute. The viewer leaves knowing exactly what to do next, no click through necessary. And of course, we can't forget about Twitter threads. These are a fantastic way to share full insights, solutions, and stories in a format that keeps people engaged, one tweet at a time. Instead of writing a vague teaser, like we've learned a lot about email marketing, check our blog, a zero click Twitter thread would, break your entire email marketing process step by step inside Twitter itself. People love threads because they can scroll through and get the complete picture right in their feed.
Okay, and there's one of the most effective formats today, Instagram Reels. Reels are an incredible way to show processes from start to finish in a quick, dynamic video. Let's say you are a baker. Instead of saying click the link to watch how we make this cake, you show the full process in a reel. The ingredients, the technique, the decoration, everything. The viewer leaves feeling like they could make that cake themselves. That's value. And when people feel they've learned something valuable from you, they save the reel, share it, and follow you for more. That's how zero click content multiplies your audience. But the real magic happens when you mix and match these formats. Imagine starting with a reel showing a process, then following it up with a carousel that provides a checklist, and then creating a LinkedIn post sharing the backstory behind the project. By doing this, you are creating a full ecosystem of zero click content that feeds into itself. Your audience sees you showing up consistently with complete, helpful information everywhere they go, and they never get bored. It's important to also mention that zero click content is about more than just formats. It's about intention. It's about asking, what does my audience need right now? How can I give them something that solves a problem, answers a question, or inspires them without making them work for it? When you start thinking like that, every piece of content becomes an opportunity to build trust. Another key tip is to focus on making the content evergreen whenever possible. Evergreen zero click content, like 5 ways to boost engagement or how to write better captions. They will stay valuable for months or even years. People will keep saving and sharing it, and new followers will keep discovering it. This means your old posts continue to grow your brand long after you've published them. And lastly, remember this: zero click content doesn't have to be complicated. The best posts are often the simplest. A quick tip, a helpful graphic, a relatable story. When you focus on value first, the format doesn't matter as how much as the feeling your audience has after consuming your content. And when that feeling is, wow, this helped me, you have succeeded in creating zero click magic.
Okay. When we think about zero click content in action, one of the best examples is Nykaa. Nykaa started as an online beauty and skincare platform, but what's really helped them dominate the market was their brilliant use of social media, especially Instagram. Instead of treating Instagram as just a place to showcase products with a link in bio prompt, they built an entire experience right on the platform. They turned their feed into a beauty magazine, offering complete education and an inspiration without expecting users to leave the app. Their early strategy was focused entirely on value first content designed to teach and engage. One of the smartest things Nika did was focus on Instagram reels, carousels, and tutorials that gave people exactly what they needed right there in the app. For example, instead of posting, check our website to learn how to create a festive makeup look, Nika created reels showing the full step by step process. They taught users how to apply foundation, pick the right shades, and finish the look. By the time viewers finished the reel, they had all the knowledge they needed to recreate it themselves. No external link needed. That's zero click content working perfectly. And they didn't stop at video. Nykaa carousels are also top notch. They regularly post swipeable guides on topics like skincare routines, product pairings, and seasonable trends. Each slide in the carousel is designed to give value, whether it's explaining the difference between serums and moisturizers or showing how to layer SPF, with makeup. By the end of the post, users have everything they need. They can save the guide and come back to it later. And Nika becomes their trusted resource. That's not just engagement, that's education. What's even more powerful is that how Nika built brand recall without constantly saying go to our website. They focused on call to actions like save this post, share this with a friend, and follow for more tutorials. These on platform actions built long term visibility because they weren't chasing short term clicks. Their posts are now used as reference materials. People go back to Nika's page not just to shop, but to learn, to explore, and to stay up to date on beauty trends. That keeps Nika top of mind without needing a website visit to do the work.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's really impressive about Nykaa strategy is that they position themselves as the expert, not just the seller. They knew that if they educated their audience first, sales would naturally follow. By giving away knowledge upfront, like how to pick the right lipstick for your skin tone or how to build a nighttime skincare routine, they made people trust them, and that trust eventually turned into purchases. Instead of pushing products in every post, they focus on building community that wanted to learn from them. And when people are learning from you, they are far more likely to buy from you too. Another unique thing Nika did was to make the content highly relatable. They understood their Indian audience. They created tutorials designed for Indian skin tones, Indian weather, and even Indian festivals. Their posts before Diwali, Holi, or wedding season are filled with zero-click content designed to give full looks, styling tips, and product recommendations, all packaged right inside Instagram. By making content that felt personal and timely, Nykaa built a loyal audience that kept coming back for more. Nykaa also used influencers to create zero-click content that felt authentic. Instead of hiring only big celebrities, they collaborated with micro influencers who created full looks and tutorials featuring Nike products. These influencers didn't just say buy this foundation, they showed how to apply it, how it worked under different lighting, and how it held up during long days. The complete experience happened in one post. Again, no website click required. And this strategy worked beautifully because it aligned with audience habits. People love scrolling Instagram for inspiration, especially for beauty content. Nika met them in that space with fully finished high value posts. And because Nika wasn't constantly asking people to leave Instagram, users didn't feel pressured. They stayed longer, saved more posts, and developed a deeper relationship with the brand over time. Finally, what Nika teaches us is that when you lead with value, the results follow naturally. They didn't build their empire on heavy ads or complicated sales funnels. They built it by showing up consistently with helpful, thoughtful, and complete content. Their audience didn't need to leave Instagram to feel like they got something valuable, and that's exactly why Nykaa is now one of India's leading beauty brands. They mastered zero-click content, and it became the foundation of their growth.
Now that we've explored Nykaa, let's talk about another incredible example of zero click content done right, Daniel Wellington. If you've been on Instagram in the past few years, you've likely come across their posts. But what makes their success so special is that they didn't start out as a massive luxury brand. In fact, when they entered the market, they were relatively unknown. Their growth didn't come from traditional advertising or pushing people to their website. Instead, they used social media, specifically Instagram, and built an empire through carefully designed zero click content and influencer collaborations that offered full value on the platform itself. From the beginning, Daniel Wellington made one thing very clear. Their Instagram feed wasn't just about, showing watches. It's about curating a lifestyle. Scroll through their feed and, you're not just looking at close-up shots of a wristwatch. You're seeing full outfits, city backgrounds, cozy cafes, and beautiful scenes, all designed to make you feel something. Their post tells a story, and what's important is that their stories unfold entirely on Instagram. You get the full idea, the complete inspiration, and the feeling of aspiration, all without ever clicking into, through the website. One of the most powerful early strategies was working with micro influencers. Instead of paying for big celebrity endorsements, they sent their watches to everyday people with beautifully curated profiles. Now, these influencers shared complete styling ideas and their posts, and what to wear with the watch, how it fits into daily life, and how to elevate a casual or formal look. Their captions often included thoughtful advice on styling, seasonal looks, and even routines. And again, notice the magic. Their post didn't say, check out our website, for styling tips. The entire value was in the post itself. Users finished reading and felt inspired right there. And Daniel Wellington didn't stop, just at static posts. They used Instagram stories, reels, and even highlights to showcase collections, pairing ideas, and behind the scenes content. In many ways, they turned their Instagram page into a digital storefront. But with a community feel, it wasn't about transactions, it was about belonging. Their content wasn't here's a watch, now buy it. It was here's how this watch becomes part of your life. And that's why people kept, coming back, not just to shop, but to stay inspired.
Yeah, rightly said. And what stand out most about Dan Wellington's zero-click content is how subtle but effective it is. You won't often find them shouting sale or buy now. Instead, that post make you pause, appreciate the lifestyle they're showcasing, and naturally get curious about the product. The experience happens entirely on the app, and by the end of consuming their content, you are already emotionally connected. Whether you realize it or not, you've been sold onto the idea long before you even consider making a purchase. That's the long game of zero click content, building desire by delivering experiences, not just promotion. Dan Willington also made user-generated content (UGC) part of their core strategy. They actively encourage their customers to share photos wearing their watch with the branded hashtags. This created a library of real people showcasing the product in real life, offering endless content that Dan Willington could repost. And again, none of this required followers to leave the platform. The inspiration loop stayed within Instagram. People discovered styles, got outfit ideas, and saw others like themselves wearing the product, all without visiting an external site. And what's amazing about this strategy is that it wasn't just about increasing sale, it was about increasing visibility. Dan Willington recognized that if they could dominate Instagram feeds with beautiful, complete content, sales would come naturally. They didn't need to measure success only through website traffic or clicks. The success was in the brand awareness, the saves, the shares, the content, and the sense of community that grew over time. Their feed became more than marketing, it became part of people's daily scroll. Another brilliant part of their approach was how they kept content fresh without making it complicated. They didn't just post the same product shot from 10 angles. They reinvented the way they printed the watch, pairing it with seasonal outfits, travel backdrops, or even everyday coffee runs. This kept followers engaged because there was always something new to see and get inspired by. And once again, all of that value stayed within the Instagram app. People don't need to bounce platforms to feel like they were part of the Daniel Milton world. And sorry, and sorry guys. And the takeaway here is simple. Daniel Wellington proves that you don't need to constantly pull people off platform to build a global brand. By giving complete value, whether that's styling ideas, aspirational stories, or real life use cases, sorry, or real life use cases, you keep your audience satisfied where they already are. That satisfaction becomes loyalty, becomes trust, and trust becomes growth. Daniel Wellington's zero click content strategy is proof that when you own the conversation on social, you don't have to chase website clicks. You win by showing up day after day with content that speaks for itself.
Now that we've explored how global brands like Nika and Daniel Wellington have mastered zero-click content, let's bring it home to Go Digital 360 degree and how we've adopted this strategy in our daily work. You see, we aren't just teaching this concept, we actively practice it across our platforms. One of our most successful content formats is our educational Reels post. Instead of asking people to read our blog or download a guide, we provide, insights directly into the post. We share complete strategies, tips, and step by step advice that anyone can implement right away. It's like giving away tiny master classes all within Instagram itself. And what's beautiful about this? These posts become resources. People save them, they comment with follow up questions, they tag their colleagues. That's exactly the type of engagement Instagram loves. It keeps the conversation happening on platform while giving users everything they need without feeling they have to learn more and somewhere else. We've seen major growth in our network and authority through this method, and all because we made it, to the value first and not traffic. Now, in fact, our like audience on Instagram is looking for quick, useful tips they can apply immediately. So we deliver exactly that. Our carousels don't just tease ideas and give you full strategies. You can swipe through a post and walk away knowing exactly how to improve your SEO or fix, Instagram engagement. People often save these carousels and refer back to them with signals to Instagram that our content is worth sharing with a bigger audience. Now, another way we've leaned into zero click content is through reels that showcase behind the scenes client work. Instead of, just telling people what we do, we show them, we could share the process of setting up campaigns, designing creatives, or brainstorming content strategies all in quick, easy to watch reels that deliver insights without requiring a single click of the platform. People get a real feel of how we work, which builds trust and confidence in our service.
And something else that we've realized is that zero click content has completely changed how we build relationships with our audience. We're no longer just a service provider they might hire one day. We became a regular part of their learning journey. People visit our page not just when they need marketing help, but whenever they want inspiration or clarity. That's the magic of zero click content. You become part of that routine, not just a distant option. We've also embraced the strategy on our Instagram stories where we share quick tips, industry news, and insights in real time. Rather than saying swipe up to learn more, we give the full tip right there in the story. This keeps our audience engaged and returning daily, knowing they can always learn something new directly on the Instagram platform. And the more consistently we do this, the more Instagram rewards our content, helping us reach even more people. What's exciting is that this zero click approach has also improved our client interactions. Instead of sending potential clients long presentations or endless emails, we simply guide them to our social feeds where they can immediately understand our expertise through the content we've already shared. Sorry. They don't have to dig or do extra research. We've made the process easy, and that ease turns into action. We've closed deals because people felt they already knew us through the value we shared openly and consistently. We've also noticed that SEO insights in carousels have become one of our most safe types of content. SEO is often seen as complicated, so we break it down into simple, digestible posts. By the end of the carousel, people feel empowered to take action on their own. They don't need to click out to an article or watch a webinar. They get the full breakdown from a single post. This type of content builds long-term loyalty because we are solving problems on the spot. And finally, what we've truly learned through our experience at Go Digital 360 Degree is that zero-click content isn't about holding back information, it's about giving generously. The more you share, the more people trust you. The more they trust you, the more they engage with you. And the more they engage, the bigger your brand grows. We don't have to chase clicks anymore because we've built a brand that people come back to over and over again, simply because we deliver value right where they are.
Now that we've walked through what zero click content is, how it works, and real life examples from Nika and Daniel Wellington, and our own journey at Go Digital 360 Degree, let's slow down and really lock in the key takeaways. First and foremost, the biggest mindset shift here is that you need to stop focusing only on clicks. I know this sounds strange in a world where we've been taught to drive traffic, but the reality is traffic alone doesn't build a community. It doesn't build trust, it doesn't guarantee loyalty. Zero click content reminds us that engagement and value are the real goals. When you focus on delivering answers right where your audience already is, they reward you with attention, loyalty, and repeat engagement, and that's much more powerful than a single website visit. Another key learning is that the need to serve value upfront. Don't hold back. Don't treat your content just like as a teaser that's supposed to force people to click on the real stuff. The brands that are winning today are the ones that give so much away for free and their audience feels like wow, if like this is what they share here, imagine what they would do like in their paid services. That generosity builds long term trust and people remember the accounts that truly help them without asking for anything first. Now the third takeaway is the idea of building relationships through content. Now not just delivering information. When you shift your focus from how do I get people from my site to how do I show up consistently in people's feeds and value, you begin to play the long game of relationship building. And relationships turn into followers, referrals, repeat customers, and collaborations as well. This is how small brands become big brands by creating a connection that their audience over time, post after post, without making people leave the app to get value. And perhaps one of the most powerful shifts we've seen through zero click content is how it makes your brand top of mind. Every time your audience opens Instagram or LinkedIn and sees another helpful post from you, you're planting a seed. You're becoming part of their routine. Over weeks and months, that consistency turns into brand recall. You don't have to fight for their attention. They come to expect it from you, which is exactly, where every brand dreams of being.
Yes, and adding to that, another key takeaway is understanding that visibility is greater than traffic. Let that sink in. You can have all the website clicks in the world, but if people aren't remembering you, saving your content, sharing it, or engaging with it, those clicks don't matter. Visibility, the kind that comes from consistently showing up with the packed on platform content, is what keeps your brand alive in people's minds. And when people remember you, they come back to you even without clicking a link. That's the sustainable kind of growth we all want. Also, zero click content works because it removes friction. When you make things easy for your audience, they reward you with their time. Imagine scrolling LinkedIn and learning something in 30 seconds from a post, instead of being told to read more on a blog, which feels better, which makes you more likely to follow that person. Exactly. We all love ease. Zero click content removes the barriers and gives people exactly what they want, right where they see it, right where they need it, actually. Yeah. One more lesson we have learned is that zero click content is not accidental. It takes strategy. You have to deeply understand your audience, what problems they're facing, what questions they keep asking, and what knowledge gaps you can fill. Once you know that, you can design content that feels like it was made just for them. And when people feel like you get them, that's when they stick around. Now, another key takeaway can be every platform supports zero click content. Whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter, they all give you the tools to share full value without sending people away. The format might change, a carousel, a thread, a video, respectfully, but the goal stays the same. Deliver so much value that the platform itself becomes your business card, your shopfront, and and your portfolio all in one. And lastly, the biggest takeaway is that the brands winning today are winning without chasing the traffic. They're not measuring success by how many people they push to a website. They're measuring it by how many people they're helping. They're helping, sorry, educating and inspiring right where they are. And when you own that mindset, when you own the conversation on the platforms your audience already loves, you don't have to chase traffic. You attract attention naturally, and from that, the growth comes. The growth comes.
As we come to the end of this session, let's pause and reflect on the biggest truth of today's digital world. The brands that are winning aren't necessarily the ones with the flashiest websites or the biggest ad budgets. They're the ones who show up where their audience is. They're the ones who understand that people don't want extra steps, don't want to leave the app, and don't want to work hard to get answers. The winners are the brands who have mastered the art of owning the conversation right there on the platform. With zero click content that delivers, educates, and inspires without asking for anything in return. And why does this work? Because we live in a world where people are scrolling quickly, multitasking, and looking for instant solutions. If your content takes too long to get to the point or requires them to jump between apps or pages, you've lost them. But when you embrace zero click content,
Hmm.
you're giving them exactly what they want right there, right now. You're saying, hey, I see you. I know your time matters. Here's something helpful without making you go anywhere else. And when people feel that respect, they come back. That's how real loyalty starts. Now, what I love most about zero click content is that it's a strategy anyone can use. You don't need to be a $1 billion brand. You don't need a 20% marketing team. You just need a thoughtful approach, a deep understanding of your audience, and the willingness to show up consistently with valuable, complete content. Whether you're a freelancer, a small business owner, or running or running or growing agency like us. This strategy scales beautifully at any size. And perhaps the most powerful thing of all is that zero click content creates impact, real impact. You're helping people, you're making someone's day easier, you're giving someone the confidence to try something new, you're providing answers, clarity, and guidance. And the brands that make people feel that kind of positive impact, those are the brands that win long term. Those are the brands that don't have to chase attention because attention finds them.
Yeah, and to add that, I want to remember one key thing. Zero click content is not just about marketing, it's about connection. When someone reads your post, watches your reel, or sees a carousel, they're connecting with you. They're trusting that you are the expert, that you understand them, and that you are worth following. That connection becomes the foundation of your brand, and if you can build that, you'll never need to stress over algorithms or traffic reports again. Your audience will keep coming back because they value you, not just your content. Another beautiful part of zero click content is that it turns your social media presence into a complete ecosystem. Your Instagram is no longer just a place for highlights. Your LinkedIn isn't just a place for quick updates. Every platform becomes a self contained experience where people can learn, grow, and engage without needing to go anywhere else. This is where your brand identity becomes strongest. Your feed becomes your portfolio. Your post becomes your pitch. Your content becomes your business card. And don't forget, the brands winning today are winning because they stopped thinking about content as a teaser and started thinking about content as the main event. They're not posting just to send you somewhere else. They're posting to make sure that even if you never leave the app, you still leave the value. They're delivering a full experience in one post, one story, one video. And that's exactly why they've remembered and trusted. The beauty of this strategy is that it creates freedom. Freedom from constantly creating clickbait, freedom from the pressure of driving traffic for traffic's sake, freedom from obsessing over whether people are landing on your website. Because with zero click content, the success happens right there on the platform. The shares, the saves, the comments, the follows, these are the new KPIs of growth. And honestly, they are better indicators of real impact than clicks ever were. And finally, if there's one thing we hope you take from today, it's this. You don't need to chase traffic to build a memorable, successful brand. You need to own the conversation where your audience already spends their time. You need to constantly deliver value without asking for anything in return. And if you do that, you win every single time. Because people will always remember the brand that made their lives better, easier, and more inspiring without making them leave the app.
And with that, we officially wrap up today's webinar on zero click content strategy, winning without traffic. Before we close, I want to sincerely thank every single one of you who stayed with us till the end. We know your time is valuable, and our goal today was to make sure you walked away with ideas, strategies, and real inspiration that you can start applying right now. Zero click content isn't just a passing trend, it's a long term, sustainable way to build authentic relationships with your audience. And we hope today, prove that to you. We also want to remember that learning doesn't stop here. This webinar is just the starting point. Go back to your own pages and ask yourself, am I making it easy for people to get value from me without needing to click away? If the answer is no, now is the perfect time to start. Start small, one helpful post, one complete guide, one educational reel. You don't need to change everything overnight, but consistency over time will completely transform how your audience interacts with your brand. And we'd love to invite you to check out our recorded webinar on YouTube. If you want to revisit any of today's insights and share the knowledge with your team or friends, the full session will be available there. Plus, we'd absolutely love to hear from you. Please leave your questions, thoughts, or even your own experiences with zero click content in the comments. We personally go through them and respond because your feedback matters deeply to us. And if you're not already following us, make sure you connect with us. Go Digital 360 Degree on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're always sharing tips, strategies, and real case studies to help businesses like yours grow through digital marketing. Think of us as your marketing partners, always showing up with value first content you can use.
Yes, thank you so much from my side as well. I want to end by saying this. Zero click content is about making people feel like they're getting something meaningful from you every time they see your content. And that feeling is what builds true brand identity. Sorry, loyalty, I mean. Don't worry so much about traffic and clicks. Worry about making an impact. Worry about showing up with real help, real solutions, and real connection right there on the platforms where people already are. And trust us, when you do that, the magic happens. The shares increase, the saves grow, the messages start coming in, the comments get deeper, and you realize that you no longer have to chase your audience around the internet. They're right there in front of you, choosing to save because you've already earned their attention through the value you provide every single day. Before we say goodbye, we encourage you to take action today. Look at the next post you're about to create. Ask yourself, if someone sees this, just one post from me, can they leave feeling like they learned something, felt inspired, or gained clarity? If the answer is yes, congrats, you've created zero click content. That's the goal. Keep repeating it and you'll see results that last. We also want to thank you again for choosing to spend time with us. There are many webinars and resources out there, and the fact that you are here with us means everything. It proves that you're committed to growing your brand the smart way, and we're excited to be a part of that journey with you. So, from both of us at Gold Digital Degree, thank you once again. This is just a beginning. Let's keep building, keep sharing, and keep growing together. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon on Insta, LinkedIn, YouTube, and in your feeds, delivering value right where you are. Thank you.
Thank you.